Hello, people. I just wanted to show you the incredible news API that I have tried out. It's very powerful and many sources, and it's free to use with attribution to the news API org. Uh, they have 36 sources and counting at the time, and they have a good documentation, very simple to make a request. Uh, when you request for articles, you need an API key, and you have the URL here, how to use the API key for responses. We are just going for the sources on this one, and we're going to use this link. I'm going to show you how it looks like when we put it into that. There you have it. It's yeah, lots of text. Yeah, 36 sources with different functions on different yeah. You have language options and category options, and in the sources you have an ID for the source and name, and yeah, so you can do lots of things with this one. I just wanted to show you how to pull out the sources and make a link that you can click on. So let's get started. I have my FTP already fired up. I have an index page, as you can see here. Okay, the functions. If you go to the, yeah, here, we're gonna gather all the sources here on the left side. And this is the simple bootstrap template with some modifications. But this is not about design or anything else. This is just about the news API. As I said, I have the functions PHP created, and as you see, it's empty. We're going to go to that one, and first of all, we want to get all the same content and as we get from the sources here. So we're going to create a request. And we're going to create an variable for it. We're going to call it URL sources, and we're going to get it from the same URL as I showed. Oh, and it's that one. So when we print this out, I'm just gonna copy and paste it so we quickly can see if it works. So we're gonna go back to our functions PHP, and voila, there we have the same JSON requested from our page. Okay, the format is not good, it's in JSON, so we have to decode it. So we're gonna create an array for it, and we're gonna decode the JSON, and this one is what this is the variable we want to decode, and we're gonna set it to true. So if we look at the array now, when it's saved, there you go. Now it's in PHP friendly. So we take a look in the resources. It's easier to see what's happening actually. So we have the status. If it's okay, it's in function. If you want to do some checking, error checking or something like that. And then you have the sources, which we are interested in. And they are 36, they said. So they are 36 sources with ID, name, description, URL, category, language, and they have logos. So that's very, very handful. To get to those sources, to make a list of it, we're gonna make a for loop. And we're gonna make the for loop. First, we have want to create a variable for the sources. It's helpful if you can write too. It's handy sometimes. And we want to loop create it from the array, and we want to go into the sources. So when we take the sources now, we're going to make a for loop to just loop through how many items are in it. So we're going to set I to 0, and then as long as the array is greater, the count of items in the array of sources, actually just sources, is greater than I, we're gonna make the loop go around. So it should be, was it 36? Let's see if that's true. We can actually take that away. So we're gonna echo out the I. Oh, wrong place. I probably want to do it in there. There we have 0 to 35, so it's 36 items. And in when we have the count, now we can make the loop, and we're gonna make make a new variable. We call it sites. Probably makes sense. Little. If it doesn't, we know what we are looking for. We're looking for all the sites that are in the list, and we want to get a name, but we're gonna make it array and sources. Makes sense, yeah, it does. And we probably want to see what we want to get is actually the name of it. When we look at the documentation of the sources, as we have here, we want to get the name. We're going to make a list just to see if we get all the names. So we're going to echo out all sites and the name part. And let's see how that looks like. The numbers are not that useful to use anywhere. Oh, here we have a list. Yes, it doesn't look that good, but we have the list. So now we can do something handy. I don't actually want the name, I want the logo. And as we see in the documentation, you have the URLs to logos. I'm just going to copy that and put it in here. And I want the small one, so I'm gonna take that and so we should get all the logos in a small format. Yeah, we get okay, we get the source because it's not, it's just a what do you call it, it's a URL actually, so you get the URLs, so you can actually see anything because you have to put it in HTML and image. So but we get the URLs and here they are, but we're gonna want to use them in HTML, so I'm gonna just leave this here for a moment. And as we have in the index page, we have a list, an unordered list with list items, and we want to echo one of these lists. So I'm going to copy the first one because it's nothing in there. It's when you look at the, if you go back to the index page, it's just bottom with nothing in it. So we go back to our functions and we gonna paste it in here. So here we have an image source or image, and we actually want to echo the whole thing. Let's see how it looks like when we just echo that one. It should look like nothing on the functions still. Yeah, it's echoing 36 sources, as it said in the name. It's written here. I don't want to have the name included, but I want to get the source of the image. So, and that's this one. I'm just going to copy it for now and paste it in the image. So let's see what happens if we could actually show, if it shows the image or the logo of the site. And there we have them. Okay, I want to have them on my index page. So now we know we get the images. We can take that away. We are gonna include this functions PHP in the index PHP. So we do it up here. I have written the code. I'm just gonna make it a part of the site. So I'm gonna save that. So it's included here. And I'm gonna make this a function. And we're gonna call it sources. Can save that. Good. And here I want to echo it out, the function here. So it's going to be sources. Then we need to go back to the index page, update that, and now we have all the sources in our source list. This is not about design, and we can actually take those away. That were just examples. So we're gonna get rid of those. But we are going to style this a little bit. So I have a style part here, so I'm not going to make any separate CSS files for this part. I already taken the list style away, so there's no dot here as there usually are. And then I want to float it left like that. But then I want to change the size of the image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that sources class, list item, and image, and I'm going to give it a width of 70 pixels and a height of 40 pixels. This should be good enough. Yeah, it's a class of sources I've given the unordered list, the class here. So that's why I can pick the list and the image. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, that's more beautiful. They are actually, yeah, lining up well. But they are too close to each other, so I'm gonna give them a margin of 2 pixels. Okay, it's not the fastest connection I have here, obviously. There we go. Oh yeah, there. So these are actually buttons with the logo on. You can style them how much you want yourself, and how to make the list useful and how to get the articles from the list. That's another story for the next time. But thank you for watching, and have a good evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. Thank you.